Hello, everyone. So, this is an interesting comment coming from the Czech president regarding Russia's trespassing jets. Because here's the thing, folks, something to put into perspective. These jets, both the ones that were over Polish oil rig and the ones that wandered into Estonian airspace, were there for some time. Specifically, the 3 fighter jets that were in the Estonian airspace were there for 12 minutes. Some years ago, a Russian jet wandered over Turkey. It was there only for a few seconds. Basically, enough time for Turkish Air Force to request basically explanation what it was doing there, receive no response, and fire. And it was shot down. Just a few seconds. So this statement by the president of Czech Republic puts things into perspective. What is happening right now is these planes get escorted by NATO jets. I think with Estonia there were some Italian jets in the area, and we also have British fighter jets flying missions over Poland as part of the drone incursion protection. But this is a question that NATO will have to answer sometime very soon. If this continues, and it will likely continue, because remember, Russia is towing the line. I've been saying this for a long time now. It's going to keep pushing. It's going to keep trying to find out how far it can get with NATO. So this will continue. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Yes, I know it's a cliche, but it applies. They need to decide what they're going to do. If it's more jets, if it's more time, if it's more locations, are they going to continue coddling them, escorting them out? Or are they going to start responding the way you're normally supposed to respond if a fighter jet from another country comes barging into your airspace without explanation as to what it's doing there? Meanwhile, Ukraine continues its attack on Russia's oil industry, again, hitting them where it hurts. An oil refinery has been hit in the Samara region. This is in southwestern Russia. This particular refinery that is in Novokuybashevsk in Samara region provides about 2.5% of all Russian oil refining. And the strike not only affected the production, but also the transit station. So that particular transit station is responsible for the export grade Ural oil that is half of all of Russia's exports. This is serious. And again, this is what we have been discussing this entire time. Right now, since Russia is not manufacturing anything else other than oil and things that it needs for the war, oil is what keeps Russia's allies tied to Russia. The oil goes away and Russia has nothing to trade. So that is why this is so important. As I mentioned before, so Russia has announced that they have captured another village in the Dnipropetrovsk region. But again, let's not forget, this is back and forth. This is important to remember. This is a constant back and forth between Russian and Ukrainian troops. So right now, we have fighting going on in the east. We have a lot of bombing going on in the south, Zaporizhia region, and in the northeast around Kharkiv region. There's also been some advances in Sumy, which is good because Sumy has been pounded. Like Zaporizhia, like Kharkiv, Sumy has been taking a lot of drone attacks, a lot of missile attacks, like Dnipropetrovsk. So this whole thing is part of the scheme to terrorize Ukrainian population into submission. In fact, there are now sources suggesting that Putin has given direct orders to target more civilian apartment buildings, city blocks, and so on and so forth. What he's trying to do is basically get to a point where Ukrainian people start begging for the end of the war on any conditions. I doubt that's going to happen. It hasn't happened in 3.5 years. I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. So Zelensky continues asking Trump to expand sanctions against Russia. Trump keeps doing the whole bullshit thing about EU buying Russian oil. A reminder to everybody, again, that the only people in EU buying Russian oil are Slovakia, Bosnia, and Hungary. Trump needs to get on the phone with his friend Viktor Orban and tell him to stop buying oil from Russia. Just saying. But basically, the view that Ukrainian people are taking, they can see it from all the way there, is that Trump is dawdling. He's doing everything possible to help Putin. He keeps saying how he doesn't like the attacks on the civilian population. He keeps saying how this is horrible and innocent people are dying, but he's not doing anything. And his condition for sanctions is ridiculous. As we know, there's been more attacks. This one was in Dnipro. There is a missile carrying cluster munitions that struck an apartment building. Other regions included Mykolaiv, Chernihiv, and Zaporizhia. Yeah, that's my parents. Yeah, they got to hear a lot of this, although their apartment building didn't get struck. Mariana Katsarova, a reporter covering human rights situation in Russia, has reported what she described as the seismic decline of human rights in Russia, including a collaboration with Russia's law enforcement, if you can call it that, with medical professionals who are basically suggesting how to use electric shocks to induce the most pain and basically inflict torture on the people being questioned. So this pertains to people being grabbed just for whatever, speaking out against the war, speaking out against Putin, anything. This applies to law enforcement officials, security forces, penitentiary officials, and members of the armed forces. Sound familiar? It should. More to come.